you re-signed in May, and I saw you in May, and my first comment was, geez, you've lost some weight. You looked really, really thin. And you mentioned that you got some arthritis issues and the medication that caused the weight to just drop off you. Talk to me about what you live with.
So 2020, I was diagnosed with arthritis. I started in my ankles. It was when like basketball was shut down, and I was like, okay, what else can I do to kind of keep fit? And I was like, I'll be a road runner. I don't know why I didn't run on the oval. It might have been a bit easier on my joints, but that was when like the swelling and pain and everything started. And yeah, I'd seen a lot of people, specialists, physios, and they're like, no, you're too young. You can't have arthritis right now. And I was like, okay, well, what else is happening? Because I physically like couldn't walk. Like in the morning, I'd wear socks to like slide around because it was just too painful. Just couldn't move. So eventually went and seen a specialist, and they were like, okay, you've got arthritis. Put me on some meds. And instantly, like within 2 weeks, I was back to normal. And then it started happening in my knee in the Ballarat hub. And then again, like they were like, oh, we've got like this medication you can go on, but I didn't want to go on it because it was like quite heavy. But yeah, and then I seen like a female doctor, and she's just like, look, I've got athletes on this. It's probably the best move for you, considering the swelling I had. Like I had 3 cortisone injections, and I had my knee drained 3 times in just, I think twice in the hub and once at home after. So yeah, went on that medication, and it took a while to kind of get completely back to normal. But I think this year and maybe halfway through last is when I've been like the most normal, or back to what I remember myself being kind of thing, like before I got it.
So what medication are you required to take?
This sulfasalazine, which is like twice a day I take that, and then methotrexate, which is like once a week. But yeah.
And a lot of athletes can't take what they need to take because it's performance enhancing, and parts of it have illegal elements to them from a wider perspective. How closely did you have to check that stuff out and make sure, yeah, I'm actually allowed to take this, or are you not taking what would be best for you because you're not allowed to?
No, I'm taking what I can. I'm pretty sure they are both allowed. The sulfasalazine is just, that's like a pretty, not low-key medication, but like I check with Wolski all the time, and Wolski knows what I'm on. So, yeah, and even like Carmel, the female doctor I was seeing, she was really good, and she works with athletes, so she knows what we can and can't take. So yeah, I can take what I can, and yeah, it works. So I'm happy. So
when the weight started dropping off, obviously side effects happen with drugs all the time. Like when you looked yourself in the mirror and went, oh, I've spent years putting on all of this strength, and now it's just dropped off me in a couple of weeks. Like, were you shocked?
Yes and no. I think it was more because like it stopped me from like movements I was used to. Like I struggled, like in the gym, speak to Wolski, I struggled with like my mobility, so squats weren't as good, blah, 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 blah. But when I started getting the mobility back, I was able to do things a bit better. So I think that's probably where it kind of came from, where I lost the weight. But yeah, I feel a hell of a lot better. Yeah.
How bad was the pain? Like we see a lot, everyone knows what it's like if there's a lot of people with arthritis out there. Can't say I'm one of them, but you see people who are going through absolute agony, but they're a lot older than you are and not trying to exert themselves like you would be. Mm-hmm. How excruciating was it?
I struggle more during winter, I think, because the cold kind of makes it a bit worse. So during NBL 1 was more, I guess, like early morning sessions. It'll take me a bit to get going. More just like stiffness and stuff. With the meds, I don't feel as much pain anymore. After like plane flights, I'm very swollen, but that happens to a lot of people. But yeah, during like, I'm really, really like happy that the WNBL season is summer and not winter. I think that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, the pain, in the beginning, it was a lot. I would be in tears a lot of the time.
Really?
Every day, yeah. Yeah.
And you would have been living alone? Your family from Cal, so are they still up in Cal, or are you living by yourself? And did you have any support when you're in that sort of pain?
I had my ex-partner with me, but he didn't really understand it, I guess, because it is hard to explain, because like you go and get like a scan done, and yeah, it'll show swelling, but that's about it. But yeah, it's just, I think that's the most frustrating thing about it, is you'll say, oh, I've got arthritis, and people are like, oh, but you look fine, like you look normal, and scans are fine, scans are normal, but yeah, I think the hardest thing is trying to describe it to someone else. But my parents were very supportive from Cal. Like mum was, every day she's like, maybe we go see this person, maybe I'll book you in here, blah, blah, blah. She's just trying to get me like to get help kind of thing. But But yeah, it was like I had my teammates and everything like from Warwick around me. So yeah, but I think the pain was so much so that I would just like avoid the keyway, because if I went in there and I stepped on someone's foot and rolled my ankle, it's not good, excruciating pain. So that's why I guess I got good at shooting, because I refused to go in the keyway and I refused to play in the post. So I was like, I'll just stand out here and shoot. So I think that's another good thing. Like as I've become more comfortable with my body and like trusting my body again, like I've been able to like roll to the basket like I did the other day and like get back in the keyway and be more of like a post player rather than just a shooter.
The basketball court is unforgiving as well on ankles and knees. Like, how do you recover? How do you pull up?
I'm not too bad. Like again, like a lot worse in winter after NBL 1 games, but yeah, I'm not too bad. I have like my recovery stuff at home. I just use my like recovery boots, which help a lot. And yeah, I just have to try and make sure I do something every day just to keep moving, kind of thing.
So you would have liked doing the number of games you've had recently, rather than a big break like you do at the moment. Do the back-to-back sort of games actually help you because of the movement?
Yeah, I was thinking that yesterday because we just had a 4-day break just then, and yesterday's training. I was like, far out, I feel terrible. Like I felt a lot better after the games than I did yesterday. But yeah, I think that's just the trick. I just need to try to do something little, even if it's just a walk every day, just to keep my joints moving.
And are you on borrowed time from a career perspective, or will this drug now allow you to play for as long as you want to?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, even when I wasn't on it, like I was still playing. I wasn't very good, but I was playing, so I'll play for as long as I can.